evening to Jock Brown.
Good evening, Jim, and a warm welcome to the Algarve Challenge Cup. It's Middlesbrough against Celtic after Cardiff City was successful against Vitoria Guimarães. The pre-match formalities ongoing and the new Celtic tops in evidence for the match. Jim, it's a match is starting late. It's very late indeed for these players. Does that make any difference to them?
No, I think that they're prepared properly. You know, they've been out there nowadays, the sports scientists, the fitness coaches out with them, making sure all the muscles are properly warmed up before the match starts. It was delayed a little bit, as you said, because the previous match that we saw was one of the old favourites in the Scottish game, or a young favourite, should we say, young Ross McCormick scored 2 goals for Cardiff, and they won that match 2-1. But this will be a good match for Celtic. Like the guys in the studio had said, I feel that Celtic are up another level. They had a difficult match against Fulham on Saturday, but that'll certainly have got them up to speed, and also gives them a kick up the backside, the fact that they didn't win. So I'm sure that they're looking to put on a performance, and even we said before, results not the most important thing, but I know that they'll be fully aware that Celtic fans travel everywhere to see them, and they'll be wanting a victory.
Well, you see a good clutch of Celtic supporters inside the stadium. They never fail to attend any match involving Celtic. There's Julio Arca, who will play in midfield for Middlesbrough. Gary Caldwell gathering the Celtic players round for the pre-match huddle, which has become so familiar. Alban Emnes is the new signing from Sparta Rotterdam, their player of the year last season. 20-year-old, wide player, and the pace and skill there all right. But Middlesbrough not really starting with any like the strongest side. There's no Brad Jones in goal, there's no Downing, Catamol, Digar, Ali Adier, O'Neill or Tunkai. But Gareth Southgate there looks remarkably relaxed on the bench, and a man who I think, it's fair to say, Jim, is enhancing his reputation. Yeah,
well, I think he steadied the ship at Middlesbrough, and now he's got to build on it for next year. And as Craig Hignett said, it's difficult to break into the top level, but they'll certainly be looking to break into the top half of the Premiership.
So here's the opening move on the right flank there for Middlesbrough, closed down very rapidly though by Scott McDonald, who works very hard. And apart from these finishing qualities we heard about from John Hartson, he certainly does give his defence a lot of support also. So a little change there in the side for Middlesbrough. Misled there a little bit because there is no Parker in the side, as we showed you in the caption before the match, and we'll confirm the details for you as Alban Emnes breaks. Very pacey, very skillful indeed. An opportunity here for Afonso Alves to show what he's made of to the Brazilian striker, who had such a remarkable scoring record for Heerenveen before arriving at Middlesbrough for £12 million.
Yeah, it's a fantastic amount of money to spend, but it just shows you the gulf between the resources available. Even most Celtic fans, I think, watching, think there's a far bigger club than Middlesbrough, but the clout they have and the financial clout they have is enormous because of the revenue the Premiership can give them. But Celtic will just be looking to settle into the match. Middlesbrough started brightly, and they've got another young boy, I think Josh Walker, who was in loan at Aberdeen last year, playing as well. But Celtic looking to get involved in the game and just get a few touches of the ball and settle in.
And further good news for Celtic, a glimpse of Giorgio Samaras, who has joined the club, who was actually the Heerenveen striker before Afonso Alves, remarkably. And the free kick's been given there. Challenge on Scott Brown. That's Afonso Alves, and that was his foul on Scott Brown, which has resulted in this free kick. Scott Brown taking that very calmly, doesn't always do that. There's Alves, something of a scoring machine. 48 goals in 48 matches for Heerenveen, remarkable record. Left out of the side at the start of last season when he was in dispute with the club, and was eventually brought back into the side. In his first match back, he scored 7 times in a 9-goal performance for Heerenveen, making a statement, I think, to the manager.
Well, I think he's a talented player. I mean, he took a little while to settle into Middlesbrough last year, but eventually started to come up with the goods.
Offside flag up there, halting the progress of Scott McDonald. It's a tight decision, that. And the flag goes up very swiftly, but there's not a great deal in that.
I think he may well have been on line there, but I think it's Rita that's got his hand up there, centre back. Pocket stepping up, and there's a fraction in it, and normally the assistant may have been a little bit behind the play there, but very sharp to get his flag up.
So the long pass back, it's Mark Brown involved in the Celtic goal. Andreas Hinkle was the man with the pass back. Across the back it goes to Celtic with McManus picking out Mark Wilson, who'll relish this opportunity after his injury problems to make a challenge for one of these fullback spots, perhaps targeting Lee Naylor more than Andreas Hinkle, I suspect. Graham Owens is the player who is in the starting lineup for Middlesbrough. We didn't tell you about it at the start. 20-year-old youngster through the system there. Picked up by Paul Hartley in that sitting midfield role, which allows Barry Robson a bit of freedom.
Yeah, I think it's also, you see Scott Brown just pushing in field a lot. I thought he was going to play wide on the right as an out-and-out right-sided midfield player, but he's coming inside and linking alongside Barry Robson. So Celtic trying to get their players forward. We see Robson in the picture now just on the right-hand side where we thought Scott Brown might play. So it's a little change of shape from Gordon Strachan's side tonight.
The player has settled very quickly as a Celtic player. I mean, it's difficult to adjust to the Old Firm, and Barry Robson, of course, had a taste of Old Firm football as a youngster with Rangers, but he really did settle a bit quickly. Yeah,
it was a bit like Paul Hartley, a little bit of a late developer, in terms of getting that quality, that level of quality up, when Inverness, but becoming captain at Dundee United, I think, gave him a great bit of confidence and started scoring goals. He was a big favourite up there. I think that when he went to Celtic, he seemed to settle in very, very quickly, full of confidence and self-belief.
Middlesbrough trying to create something in midfield. It's back with the huge figure at the back of David Wheater, 6 feet 5 inches tall, a big centre back of whom there are very high hopes, not only for Middlesbrough but for England eventually. Jonathan Grounds at left back, playing it forward, and a break on the left hand side here. It's quelled by the arrival quickly of Mark Brown from the Celtic goal.
Yeah, it was good anticipation from Mark Brown there, because it was a lovely little ball played over the top, but I think the Celtic defence stopped because they saw the goalkeeper was in command of the situation.
So rather quiet start to the match so far. No real tackles being put in at this stage in the game. What do the players look for from this, Jim? We've heard the boys talking in the studio earlier on about managers wanting fitness above all else.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the key element is sharpness. In game time, getting game fitness. You need that. Just getting the dimensions of the pitch and your touch, your technical aspect again back into play. But I also feel that when you've got a big squad of players, like both sides have, but particularly from Celtic's point of view, then they're looking to impress the manager, because there's always a speculation that they're going to strengthen the squad, and as early as you get, you want to impress the manager and say, no, I want to be part of your first team for next year, and you don't need to look for someone to fill my position. There's a lot of talk just now about centre back, and people like Gary Caldwell will be understandably realise that there's always going to be speculation. So a good solid performance from him says to the manager, no, I'm in pole position here.
Emnes laying it off there to Shockey, the Egyptian in midfield. Mohamed Shockey, another young player brought into the setup here by Gareth Southgate from Al Ali, Egypt. A chance here for Mark Wilson to come forward. McGeady playing it inside. Pressure applied by Wheater was significant there for McDonald, forcing the error in possession.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Scott. Just that the aspect of your technical aspect, touches, feel of the ball. These are all important things to get used to again. That ball coming in at pace. Scott McDonald normally superb at taking the ball in against big centre backs like Wheater, but a slack first touch, and it just shows you he's still just searching, to get to the top of his game. But still got 2 or 3 weeks yet to go, so no immediate problems. And I think you look at Middlesbrough. I mean, they've started very well. Craig Hignett was saying beforehand, the manager said that not too much been working on the technical aspects, but so far they seem quite confident and quite comfortable on the ball.
Brilliant pass on defensive effort, and this allows Middlesbrough to attack in numbers. The overlapping made by Shockey, doesn't get the pass though, and that's intercepted easily in the end by Hinkle for Celtic. This is McGeady, first real chance to run at Luke Young.
Luke Young is quick. That's a good contest out there. I mean, he's a good player, Luke Young, and he's quick. McGeady, as we know, superb at taking the ball up to defenders and go either side, right or left. Luke Young showed there that great time of the tackle, solid defensive play, and got a little ricochet as well, so got a throw in for his team.
7 England caps for Luke Young. Not in the last 3 years, mind you, but certainly a player of immense promise when he came through originally at Tottenham.
I think he scored one of the goals of the season last year as well, if I remember. An absolute rocket he scored, I think, from about 35 yards, and I don't think there were many of those in his CV, but certainly one to remember.
Asking a lot of Samaras, the pass from Hinkle, and a clumsy challenge by the Greek striker.
He just got too close to the defender there. It was one of those ones defenders want to just shield it out there. Pogatetz and Samaras just come down the back of him and getting a little knee in the ribs, but he's fine. And again, as I mentioned last season, preferred partnership with Scott McDonald and Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, but Georges Samaras signing that new contract gives you, and I guess, a chance tonight to show Gordon Strachan that he may be the ideal partner for Scott McDonald.
Well, remember, a big incentive here to score goals in this match. A point a goal, as well as the normal 3 points for a win and a point for a draw, which means that a 3-3 draw is equivalent to a 1-0 win. Yeah, I'm not sure that's right though, Jim.
Well, I know it's a good format for pre-season. I think it's what they're trying to say is that, you know, we don't want nil-nils. You know, we want teams to go and try and be positive, try and entertain the supporters. We know there's an element of organisation, and you know, that's important for managers. But you know, the fans are there to be entertained, and let's hope there's a few goals in the match.
Shockey playing it short. Luke Young at the back, in the right back position. There's a very rigid back four being employed by both sides. It's Young, Vita, Pogatetz and Grounds for Middlesbrough. Hinkle now caught out here. Opportunity for Alves coming in from the left. Always with an eye for goal. It's a good interception there by McManus. That's good play for the skipper. Yeah,
very confident from Steve McManus. As you say, now wearing number 4 from 44. It shows you how far he's came, and not just the squad numbers, not with the high squad numbers of our young kids. When he came into the side at first, that's where he was, but great play from McGeady.
That's a good ball in. That's Samaras with a header. No real power in that attempt by Samaras. Wonderful wing play by McGeady.
Yeah, not just the fact that he was positive and confident, but also strength as well. So you look Young struggling there, but McGeady up very quickly, showed great upper body strength and had the ability just to dink one up for Samaras to go and head in. But a comfortable save, but outstanding wing play from Aidan McGeady.
He's wearing still 46, so does that mean he's made no progress?
Yeah, well, maybe he just likes that number. Maybe he's just quite happy with that. And you know, some players, if they've had a good time with that number, good performances, they're a bit superstitious. So maybe Aidan thinks, no, I'm doing all right with 46. Just leave me alone with it.
This is Young for Middlesbrough. Josh Walker coming shortly with the pass, but Emnes is picked out. Careless ball that by Walker. Possession won by Robson for Celtic. This is Samaras. Now Brown playing in the left centre of midfield at the moment. Now McGeady. I'm not sure quite what he intended there, but possession is yielded much too easily, and it's Arca bringing it out for Boro. It's Grounds, captain last season of the Middlesbrough reserve side, 20-year-old. Emnes coming in from the right hand side, held up well by Wilson.
Again, you know, Matt Wilson's got a chance every time he came into the side. You know, he looked a good player, and when he first came in, obviously he's a natural right back, and he can play both full back positions. And he's been, you know, unfortunately hampered by injuries in his Celtic career so far, and he'll be looking to have a sustained run in the team and stay away from injury. And if he does that, then he's more than capable of being a quality member of the squad.
Now it's with Hinkle. Pogatetz making a strong challenge there on Brown. It breaks back for Robson. Middlesbrough getting players back quickly though to close down that defensive area. Hinkle well forward, likes to do that too.
Well, I think he is a full back. He's better going forward. He seems to link up the play very well. Still a little bit I think of what to do defensively. Just does get caught a little bit time with balls in, played inside him, but certainly going forward, he likes to get forward and support and puts in good balls.
Chance for Hartley for a snapshot at goal. Good trouble Turnbull in goal though. Hartley, as you said, a late developer in footballing terms, 31 years old now. He's developed into that new sitting role, which is obviously going to extend his career, I think.
Yeah, of course. He's, you know, when he was at Hearts, he was the support player from midfield, and you know, scored I think about 17 or 18 goals. And you know, his energy and his drive from Hearts was, you know, the reason why they finished second. I think one of the big reasons why they finished second that year, and split wheel for him. But since he's went to Celtic, changed the position, and he's been a wide right player. He's been an attacking midfield player. Now he's a sitting midfield player. And you're right, Jock, sitting in that role, and he is a very fit lad anyway. He can play there for the next 5 years, easy 5 years.
We saw him play left back, didn't we, in the European Cup last year?
That's right. Yeah, he gets shifted to full back as well. Very adaptable. But you know, for me, he can play very, very comfortably 5 years in that holding midfield role. Paul Hartley, good pass of the ball. You know, anticipates to play well.
Successor to some extent to Paul Lambert.
Yeah, Paul Lambert, Neil Lennon, similar sort of role. You know, maybe not quite as vocal maybe as Neil, but the more he plays, then you know, the more he'll add that to his game as well.
Interesting now that Celtic have Barry Robson wide on the right hand side of midfield. It's Hartley and Brown in the middle, McGeady on the left. Free kick is given against Mark Wilson. A heavy challenge on Marvin Imnes from behind.
Yeah, Imnes showing that he's prepared to walk back as well, even in the early pre-season games. Sometimes the new players come to the club if their asset is going forward with pace, like the defensive duties. But he showed he's more than capable of working hard for his side, and that'll please Gareth Southgate and please the Middlesbrough fans, you know, because they don't want lazy players. They know they can't afford them at Middlesbrough. They need everybody working hard as a team, and he certainly wants to be part of that.
So possession won back there. McGeady, a rare error in possession there. It was clumsy with a touch, and that's a collector's item. Celtic at the throw. Luke Young can't believe that.
Well, I think you'll get one or two strange decisions. We saw a very debatable penalty in the Cardiff and Guimarães game late on in the match there, after a great challenge, and the referee gave a penalty. And I think pre-season matches, referees can sometimes just be a little bit casual with some of the decisions and a little bit soft, but Middlesbrough felt frustrated, and possession now back again with Celtic.
Yeah, pre-season warm-ups for them too.
Yeah, of course, they've got to get used to the pace of the game as well.
That's Hinkle. Caldwell behind, now McManus. A strong challenge made there, but there was no way in which Pogatetz is going to lose the high ball against McDonald. That's Caldwell again. Samaras.
I think so. They find it a little bit difficult to play and to defeat the strikers, Jock, because when Middlesbrough lose possession, they just drop into a five-man midfield, and Owens wide in the left and Jimenez wide in the right, and just leave Alves up front on his own. So they're going to a 4-5-1 formation, very solid, very organised in there. They've got good pace in the wide areas as well. So Celtic trying to play those little tight balls through the middle. There's not too much space, and so far very few touches for the strikers, but that's down to good organisation by Middlesbrough.
Certainly have strength in that central defensive position with Wheater and Pogatetz. Robert Huth, a player you know well, is still in the wings. Yeah, waiting for his chance. Yeah,
Robert always felt was going to be an outstanding player, but another one, young player who's a lot of injuries, a lot of muscle injuries, and hasn't had a real run in the game really. Still a young player, but he's 6'2", strong, 2-footed, and if he can clear his injury problems again, he'll be a top player for Middlesbrough.
Jason here for McDonald. Well, policed all the way back by Pogatetz. It's Andreas Hinkle trying to pick out McDonald. Ross Turnbull in the goal for Middlesbrough's under-20 international for England. 6'4", as now seems to be the norm in England for goalkeepers. Samaras putting pressure on here. Well, did well to win possession from Wheater, and then there was a bit of a hurry.
Yeah, Wheater thought he was pushed, but I felt once Samaras did get possession of the ball, he could have done a little bit better. I think he thought the goalkeeper was off his line.
This is Samaras. McDonald's offside. Must have been very tight indeed. See the frustration there on the little Australian's face.
He's frustrated, Jock, because Samaras should have given him the ball. He had a little dummy on the ball, and then McDonald already made his run. What's a little dummy? I mean, I think again he's on line, but he doesn't need the little dummy first. He could just play it first time, in which case there's absolutely no doubt McDonald would have been onside. But again, I feel maybe just slightly harshly treated there by the assistant.
Well, the point's been made by McDonald to the side assistant. That's Emnes holding off Wilson. This is Walker. Runs forward there to involve Owens. Good back-tracking work there by Hartley.
The one thing with Julio Arca is that he's not going to run away from Paul Hartley. You know, he's got a lovely left foot in him. He opens up the play very, very well. He's had one terrific pass already in the game. But, you know, you wouldn't say pace was his biggest asset. It's his ability on the ball when he's awareness. It's his great left foot. Good, very, very good pass of the ball.
Foul there by Shockey on Robson. One aspect of Robson's game that people don't pick up on a lot is his immense upper body strength.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite a tall lad, and you know, he works very hard. He does hold people off. I think he quite likes playing out on that right-hand side, coming into his left foot, favoured left foot, and you know, he whips into some tremendous balls. With Nakamura not playing just now either for Celtic, he's one of his strengths. His set plays, fantastic on the set plays.
That's McDonald at his best. That chest control, holding off defenders, but then committing the foul to give the free kick to Boro. And there's again. Good trickery by the young Dutchman. Shooting chance for Arca. Well closed down by Caldwell. It was good defending.
Yeah, good defending, but again, as soon as he shifted on his left foot, you know, he was going to hit it, and more than capable of scoring from that range. But Jimenez already, I think, looks as if he's going to be a good player. I know it's early in you know, the work that Middlesbrough have to do to prepare themselves for the Premiership, but very positive, good pace. Every time he gets it, he looks to take on the full back, and if they double up, he's got the awareness to pick another teammate out.
Hartley again, that continuity play, which is so important from that deep midfield position.
I think he'll try that pass 2 or 3 times, just in behind the full back, and Scott McDonald run out, but he hasn't quite got the measure of the pass yet. And again, these are the things that you iron out in pre-season, just getting that time and that distance. That's the reason why I said earlier on, dimensions are important, and just the type of runs that your teammates make.
That's good ball retention by McGeady. It's a great outlet, McGeady. You give him the ball when you're under pressure, you believe you'll keep it.
Yeah, well, he's certainly got ability, there's no doubt about that. And as I said, he'll come in, he'll drift inside if he's not getting service out in the wide left. But Middlesbrough, as I said, keeping the ball, and Josh Walker in there. As he was up at Aberdeen last year loan. Jimmy Calderwood, I think, was very impressed by him. And obviously Gareth Southgate gave him an opportunity to impress him. You know, now he's got a little bit of experience under his belt. But 2 centre-backs, Bogates and Wheater, experienced as well. So there's a real mixture there. But Middlesbrough, even though it's they're a week behind, possibly 10 days behind in their preparation, showing that they've got good organisation, good awareness of each other so far.
Good strong challenge there by Pogatetz. A big squad, but you think who's not playing in this team at the moment? A lot of very experienced players. You know, almost a whole team. Ali Adier's not there, Toonsai's not there, O'Neill, Diga, Catamol.
Mido, I think, is another one, but they missed him last year. I think he was very unfit when they brought him, and never really got fit at all. But I think that was saying he seems to have come back in pre-season with a new lease of life, and if he has got that hunger, he could be a very important player.
This is McGeady. Samaras policed well by Wheater. That's Walker. And now Emnes. Arca under pressure instantly there from Barry Robson. Possession retained by Boro very effectively. Off goes Alves. Well-timed tackle there by Caldwell.
Well, I think Gary Caldwell knew that Alves had certainly had the pace on him, so he tried to cut the angle off. I think that it was a definite corner to Middlesbrough. I can't believe that the referee's given a goal kick. You can see quite clearly there the ball come off Gary Caldwell. So he timed his tackle well, and it was good. It ended up good defensive play, but referee gave a goal kick, which really surprised everyone, particularly the Middlesbrough bench.
Jonathan Burns there we saw complaining bitterly. Young left back made his first team debut against Liverpool in January. Wilson. Are you surprised that Celtic haven't done more the transfer market, Jim, so far in the
Well, I think Gordon likes to take his time. He wants to, I don't think he bows to fan pressure. The one thing Celtic do have is, they won the championship, so Gordon's got a little bit of leeway, I think, there with the supporters. Like John Hartson said, I think they're warming to him. It took them time, 3 championships. You think, he'd be a very, be a favoured manager, but he hasn't been. But I think now they're realising that he's done such a fantastic job. But there will be 1 or 2 signings. There's no doubt about that before the season gets underway.
And yeah, again, we've mentioned Middlesbrough's strength and depth, but Celtic too, with a lot of players that must be candidates for team plays. Nakamura, obviously.
Yeah, Nakamura and Vinegar of Hesselink, you would think would be obvious ones, and there's plenty of players in that squad that can come and complement it. But fans always like to see new signings, and you get the young Paddy McCourt that they signed from Derry, which I think was surprised a few people, but he's got great ability, and I think a few might think they would see him in duty here as well today, possibly later on tonight.
Well, I'm sure we'll see a host of changes at half time. Crosswood grounds. Sharkey plays it wide. Owen's trying to get involved there to pick out Emnes inside, but he was very closely marked. No real problems yet for either goalkeeper. Yeah,
I mean, I think when you're playing that one striker, which a lot of teams do play, you need to get support to him very quickly. And Emnes he's been up there, but they haven't really had great support from central midfield so far, Middlesbrough. I think that's something that they're working on. Obviously, still a fair bit of sharpness to find, and that's those energy levels are really important. And they'll improve as the weeks go on.
Well, I have Shockey, who's a sitting player principally in the centre of midfield, beside Arca, who's certainly not an athlete really in the senses of modern football.
Well, the same with Josh Walker. He's not that quick. So we've got 3 players in there who are all good on the ball, but you wouldn't say any of them really are great at going beyond the strikers and hurting the opposition. So if you really down to Algarve to maybe come up with something, then you've got the 2 wide guys, Owens and Jimenez, to look to support. But certainly from a central point of view, you wouldn't have thought that Celtic would be under too much pressure from breaks from midfield. But as I said, they're very strong centrally, right through the middle. I think Middlesbrough, centre back, centre midfield, very compact, good pace in the wide areas. So if Celtic do want to try and up the tempo, they're going to have to have players prepared to take them on, particularly someone like Aidan McGeady.
Across there by McManus. Well, more pre-season action coming up on Setanta on Thursday evening. We'll bring you Cardiff City against Celtic on Setanta Sports 1, 9:25 Thursday evening. Again, scheduled for a 9:30 kick-off, but that could be delayed by the earlier match, which will be Guimaraes against Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it's a good idea to play both of them, on the same night, and give fans, if the weather's very nice, allows them to relax and enjoy a couple of games of football. Let's just hope there's a little bit more goal action than we're seeing at the moment.
Stadio Algarve, a 30,300 capacity stadium. It's just 5 years old. Easy work for Turnbull again. Turned back there by Walker to Young.
You can see the 3 central midfield players all in the picture there, Jock, with the Middlesbrough. Shockey, Josh Walker and Julio Arca. So that tells you there's no one anywhere near Alves. So if the ball does go up to him, then as I said, you've definitely got to rely on the pace of the 2 wide guys.
And there's Alves certainly used to playing in 4-3-3 formations with 2 wide men and a striker in Dutch football. This is Arca. Well, it's a fine pass, great play. This is Owens, and he couldn't gather the ball on the run. Under pressure there, the Celtic defence closing in very effectively. Not Ulster with the eventual clearance, but Graham Owens there had a chance.
It's a magnificent ball from Arca, that's what I'm saying. He's got so much quality and ability just to pick a pass out there and just put it through the eye of a needle. And I don't think Owens needed an extra touch, he's just to hit the first time.
Here's Young to Walker. Arca's missed out there, but the pass would reach his grounds. Now it's Arca. Celtic now well back in numbers, making it difficult for Boro to play through them. And there's a switch to the left. This is Grounds. Walker once again. No way for Owens to go there. Closed down well by Robson. It's Hinkle. Strong challenge by Pogatetz on Samaras. Both involved, of course, in the European Championships. Pogatetz playing all 3 matches for Austria, and Samaras coming on as sub for Greece.
The teams never did more successful European Championship, unfortunately, Greece and Austria. But great experience for both of those players anyway, and I think it just gives them a little taste of wanting more of that.
Great change of pace there by McGeady, getting away from Arca. I'm sure that wasn't quite the way I wanted to deliver that. Robson was coming in at pace on the right-hand side. McGeady couldn't pick him out.
Well, Barry Robson will get up in support. He does like to get goals from midfield, and Aidan McGeady from the left position coming inside on his right foot, looking for his opposite number on the right side. Barry Robson coming in, but well overhit. These are the things again they've got to work on. Just get that, passing, that quality, just getting in the right areas and allow their teammates to go and attack the opposition. I think both managers will be relatively pleased, Jock. I think there's been a reasonable tempo to the game, and Middlesbrough are looking very organised. As I said, they'll look as if they've been playing 2 or 3 games already, and with, as you say, with a lot more strength to come into their side, and it bodes well for Gareth Southgate for the coming season.
Well, that's penalised. It looked to be a good tackle, that, by Robson.
I did tell you the referees will be soft.
Well, he played the ball all right, didn't he?
Yes, he won the ball, and the player fell over him after that, but I don't think you complain too much. Referees are going to be trying to protect the players as well. You don't want any unnecessary injuries, and so I'm just saying to players, listen, just be a little bit careful with the tackles.
Forward come Middlesbrough again. A driven ball by Owens across the face of goal. No one coming in with enough pace there. Alves, certainly not blessed by blinding pace, Alves, but a natural goal scorer, if there was one, Brazilian.
Yeah, it was just dragged across the face there. It was one of those ones, sometimes if the striker gambles early, he can be sliding in, getting his studs on it, and opening up the scoring for his side. But Owens switching wings there, coming onto his right foot. I think it's really the first real effort that Matt Brown's had any sort of concern for.
Good challenge again by Pogatetz. Very commanding there at the back, Middlesbrough with Wheater and Pogatetz. Grounds too is a big fella.
Yeah, I think that when you're just going to take goal kicks like that, I think Celtic's got to work harder to try and take shorter ones and to try and get more movement to build from the back. Although Samaras is a big lad and he'll win the odd header, as you say, the strength from the 2 centre-backs, Pogatetz and Wheater in particular, are attacking that ball from distance, and the Celtic, I think, will win very, very few of those type of balls, and they've got to be a little bit more inventive in terms of getting on possession of the ball.
Oh, that's good play by Emnes away from Wilson. Covering up work by Paul Hartley for Celtic. Bit of a scare there provided by Emnes though with that burst of pace. Because Wilson is no slouch, but Emnes left him there all right.
Yeah, but I think Emnes is definitely quicker, and he's a player that will, the fans will enjoy watching because he's very positive every time he gets it. His job is to get at full-backs and create problems, and that's exactly what he's doing, and he's been different class so far in the first half.
That's well retained by McDonald for Celtic. Hartley keeps the ball alive, switching the play now to Hinkle on the right. Hinkle once again. This is Robson.
think you can see the experience of the two centre-backs at Middlesbrough. Every time the ball gets set back, even 4 or 5 yards, the two centre-backs make sure the full-backs push up and they squeeze up and they leave Scott McDonald offside, and he's having to work very, very hard to stay onside.
It's great play again from McGeady. That's brilliant play again. And a fine chance again for Samaras, created there by McGeady's skills on the left.
Well, the two wingers are doing what we'd asked them to do, Jock, is entertain. I mean, magnificent play again from Aidan McGeady, and a great cross. Samaras does well getting across the face of the defender, but what about that for ability? Just completely out-foxed Luke Young there. And again, great cross into the middle. Samaras just really wanted a glancing header on it, just got too much on it. But Jimenez from wide right and Aidan McGeady wide left are certainly the pick of the bunch so far.
Oh, there the entertainer's all right. McGeady to play against an international defender, remember, an England international, Luke Young.
The ball just doesn't leave his laces, does it? You know, he looks as if he's going one way, takes the ball the other way. No matter how quick you are, you know, that natural ability just gives him half a yard, and he also has then the quality to deliver it into the box.
And this keeping the ball alive there for Boro. This is Arca, and that's great left foot. Pressure applied on Alves. Now Shockey. Well, couldn't control the shot, but showing some power, bursting from midfield, the Egyptian.
Well, they nicked it off Celtic in midfield, but they really took the wrong option there, so slid it down the side there. I think Alves had made a run wide on the right. See him just on the right hand side of the picture there. He really should be sliding that inside Mark Brown and allowing Alves to get in behind Celtic defence. Totally wrong option, and well with the shot.
Once again, Pogatet's getting a bit of Samaras in the air for the kick out. Killer shade forced it there, they pick it up again from Owens. Now space for Wilson. McGeady, paced by Shockey. Safety first by McGeady in that deep position, almost in the left back position. It's across here with Gary Caldwell.
Again, Scott McDonald just a little bit slack with that touch there. He's just got to tighten his game up a little bit. You know, showed well, and it was a good ball from Gary Caldwell. Good pace. Just didn't allow the defender to nick in front of him, but just sat up off his side foot and allowed the defender to get a toe poke in.
Hinkle, Brown. One back there by Robson. Hartley now looking in to involve McGeady. Sense of anticipation whenever McGeady or Jimenez get on the ball. Really are box office these two, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean that's what you want. You know, you're not going to have a team full of players like that. But you need, you know, one or two of them that can, you know, excite the fans, come up with something different, and you know, do something that it gets you off your seat now and again, Jock. And I think that those players can do that. And Craig Hignett was saying in the studio that Aidan McGeady's been mentioning dispatches down south. But no disrespect to some of the clubs he mentioned, but they're nowhere near the size of club that Celtic are. And I think sometimes people down south don't realise how big a club Celtic are globally. And Aidan McGeady, I think if he's going to move, has to move to one of the very top clubs to better himself. He's certainly got the ability, but he's still got a bit to go. Still young enough to add to his game.
22 years old, he just signed that 5-year contract. Real statement of intent there, you would think.
Yeah, but also allows Celtic to dictate the market there, and if they do decide to sell him, it's up to Celtic to get top dollar for him. But I don't think that will be on the agenda for the next couple of years anyway.
Well, it has indicated that if he did move eventually, he'd be happy to play abroad, eventually Spain, I think. But why should he think of leaving? You're quite right. Why would he leave Celtic to go to a mid-Premier League team in England? It just doesn't make sense, really. That's a good save by Brown. First real test he's had.
I think it was Josh Walker on his left foot. Yeah, and not his strong suit, but a lovely strike. Kept it down, didn't try to bust the ball with it, you know, just tried to make a good clean contact, let the goalkeeper do his job, and fortunately pied it away.
But again, trying to get the ball into that goal mouth to test Mark Brown. McManus defending well.
And also McManus showing he's a captain there, you know, berating one or two of his players there, thinking they were a bit slack. That's that shot from Josh Walker. I think it was a comfortable save, and then Aidan McGeady showing he's not shy in his work rate, getting back and blocking for the ball for a corner. That's showing the other side of his game. It's something I think he's learned under Gordon Strachan.
Well, Gordon Strachan seems to insist upon that from his wide midfield players. Samaras back defending. The only target then was Scott McDonald. He's not much chance of winning that against the Boro defence of his own. Boro come again. Now Arca. That's Shockey. Good attempt. Well, Mark Brown's not happy, and the shot was allowed there on the edge of the area.
Arca instrumental again, and just see him there, he's just looking forward, then a little slip the ball. Shockey, a much better strike than the one they had earlier on, although it's still 2 or 3 yards wide. Celtic defenders trying to close him down quickly, but again a bit of a warning for Celtic. They're maybe just allowing possession too easy, 25 yards out, and that's something again they've got to work on, because the higher level they go forward into Europe, then teams like that will punish them, and they'll play a little reverse ball down the side. Jimenez was on down the side again, similar to where Alves was earlier, but the shot got him off the hook.
Robson bundled over there by Shockey. It's a free kick to Celtic. It's also an area where fitness is so important, that the closing down, the unglamorous chores around the defensive area, that's what players really have to get up to speed for.
Yeah, I think it's just that, you know, see that 1-2 yard sharpness. I mean, John Hartson and Craig Hignett and the show will tell you, that's the you know, you need the games to get that, you know, just that little 1 or 2 yards if you're a defender, just to close it down. If you're a striker, just to get in front of the defenders, just to nick things in front of them. But those are the bits that, you know, that come through these type of games, through difficult games against good opposition.
Caldwell with a free kick for Celtic. Closing 5 minutes of the first half. Samaras with Huita. Didn't quite manage to keep that in play. Linesman's flag up. He's not happy, Samaras.
I'm not sure if the ball was out or not, but when the first ball went in, Huita just stood his ground really, and just stood against Georgios Samaras and said, no, I'm not going to let you have any run at all to attack that ball. Good experience from Huita.
Possession won again by Boro. There's more of these balls when they come forward like that. That was Alves. A little bit of chase there for Turnbull. Wilson's header. That's good play again from McGeady. Closed down rapidly. He's being shown a lot of respect now by Boro. They recognise his danger. Well,
I think that as Aidan McGeady's reputation is enhancing by the week and by the season, then teams are taking more and more care of doubling up and making sure they deny him as much space as possible. Although he's still got tremendous ability, I think he'll find it more difficult. The better he does, really. But that's the reason why he's just got to keep learning. But so far in this match, he's done everything asked of him. And he just maybe needs a little bit of a hand from one or two other players. He can't always expect Aidan McGeady to come up with the goods. Maybe just need one or two options. And perhaps the reason we even with the signed Paddy McCourt, similar type of player, not got the reputation of Aidan McGeady, but he likes to take players on.
This is McDonald. Now it's with Robson. Mark Wilson. Space on the right for Hinkle. That's a good ball in. Bit of confusion there between Turnbull and Pogatetz. Hinkle still supporting. Trying that dink ball in, didn't quite come off. Another chance here. That's a good ball across again. Very well defended inside the area though by Boro.
There's two terrific crosses by Andres Hinkle. Mentioned earlier on, Jota, I think he's much better going forward. He's a better attacking fullback, and I think that just showed you why. Two great crosses, But great defending, you're right. You know, Middlesbrough getting their players in good positions and outstanding defending.
This is Emnes. There's a good first touch again from Emnes, and that high ball reached him, creating space for the shot at goal.
Well, we hope both managers leave Emnes and McGeady on. I'd be surprised if they do, because you know, they're not wanting to burn them out too early. They'll be wanting maybe to give other players a game, but certainly from a supporter's point of view and a footballing supporter's point of view, you want those two players left on the pitch, because every time they get it, something exciting happens.
Will players be told before the game, Jim, they're going to play one half and then run themselves out in that period?
Yeah, sometimes. A lot of the guys, I mean, could play with heart rate monitors on. A lot of the pre-season matches, the players actually play with the heart rate monitors on, and you know, they're obviously looking to cover a certain amount of ground or get a certain amount of work rate in. And yeah, some players are told beforehand how long they'll play, and obviously, you know, that there are mitigating circumstances. One or two players might get injured and you have to change it. But this is Jimenez coming in again, showing you a good strike, went for power, maybe better look at the bend it around the corner there, but again, you know, he's asking the goalkeeper to make a save. But I think that you know, that's what happened with some of the players, and it all already depend. Middlesbrough, as I said, a little bit behind the players, behind Celtic in terms of their build-up. Might just be saying to the players, listen, we're going to change quite a lot of subs, with the Celtic, with another game coming up on Thursday as well, might not make so many substitutions, you know, might be giving them more game time.
Packs will be shuffled, there's no doubt about that. Half time and afterwards, I've no doubt. Good hustling play though by the front two, McDonald and Samaras for Celtic. Brown is playing it short to Shockey. Well, Afonso Alves has a very little change out of Caldwell and McManus.
Yeah, I mean, both sets of striker, but Alves is up front on his own, so he really has to be a perfect pass into his feet and, you know, give him an opportunity to link up the play. And the same on the other side, McDonald and Samaras have had, you know, not too much service, because basically both sets of midfield are doing very, very well. The threat has come from the wide areas from both sides.
Well, the 45 minutes of the first half are over. I can't remember too much stoppage time. Scott McDonald tries to get a last Celtic attack underway before the break. Hinkle inside. This is Brown. Now Robson. Too much on the cross. Easy for Luke Young to police to safety. And the referee has had enough. That is the half-time whistle. No goals in the first half. Has been punctuated by some brilliant play from Aidan McGeady and from Marvin Emnes. We hope they stay in the field for the second half. Well, don't go away. We'll be right back after the break with analysis of the first half.
Saturday night, 3 in the morning, that's when we're back in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand, as Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito take part in the battle between the two welterweight superpowers. That's on Setanta Sports 1. And if you fancy a late one on Thursday night, you can watch David Beckham and his MLS All-Stars against West Ham United. That's 25 past midnight on Thursday night, Setanta Sports 1. John Hartson and Craig Hignett have just watched the first half between Middlesbrough and Celtic. Tempo, first of all, Craig, what did you make of that?
I think it's been good. You know, it's Middlesbrough's first proper game. I think the tempo's been decent. The shape surprised me a little bit with them playing 4-3-3, although when they haven't got the ball, I think Gareth asked them to play a 4-5-1. But as they get fitter, I think you'll see the wide players joining up with Alfonso Alves, who's found himself isolated at times up front.
There's not much room in that midfield, is there?
There's not. I mean, they've congested it. They've played three tight in there with the two wide men helping out as well. So it's very, very difficult to get anything going in the middle of the park. Although, at times, Boro have had some good play, and but too many shots have been from outside the box. They haven't really threatened to get in behind Celtic. Emnes has on a couple of occasions. He's done very well out there, but hasn't really got behind them yet.
John, Celtic look to have a good shape for you.
They do. I think that's Gordon's preferred shape, isn't it? I think when you see a lot of teams in pre-season, a lot of managers may tinker around with the systems and formations and things, but I think with Gordon's track, and I think that's basically the way he likes to play. I think that's the way he's always played at all his teams he's been at. It's a solid 4-4-2. you know, with the wing backs. Aidan McGeady gives them a lot of width on the left-hand side, whereas Barry Robson tucks in slightly off the right. But I agreed with Jim in comment. I'd like to see Paul Hartley get forward a bit more, because Paul's got a lot of ability and he can score goals. But when he's sitting in front of the back four, it just limits him getting out and doing his thing. But as you say, he might be looking at his age and things like that. But Samaras has also been excellent for me.
You like the way Samaras has played, aided and abetted by Aidan McGeady.
Oh, Aidan's been terrific. You know, we know of his ability, but you know, he's adding so much more to his game now, Aidan. You know, he's not just running that plays. He's actually picking the right pass now and taking his breather, and he shows great strength there. And he gets up, and this for me is a chance. He's up, just couldn't get the power, but he gets up early. But Aidan here shows other parts, strength, you know, body strength. He's up, he's sharper than Young, and a great little dink. But there, he's up, and he just couldn't generate the power. But no, great header. As Samaras has been excellent. He's had Celtic's 3 best chances.
Getting into good positions, John.
Yes, he is. This, again, here was... well, he just gets across the front, you know, just comes across the near post here, when you watch it.
Great feat.
Yeah, again, just couldn't generate... Makes a great run, but for me, he's really got to throw himself in that and sort of try and get across. Great run, but just can't generate the power. Bit unlucky there, but a good run.
Yeah, possibly Celtic's 2 best chances of that first half. Marvin Emnes was a sprinter as a youngster. He cost £3 million from Sparta Rotterdam, Craig, and he's having a good game so far.
Been very impressed with him. Been very impressed with everything about him. You know, the way he's kept the ball, the way he's ran at people. He is positive. The boys said it in commentary that he's positive. Just struggling a little bit with the final ball, but all the Boro players are tonight. And you just hope with a little bit more match fitness. I won't say sharpness because he looks pretty sharp to me. But he's going to be a right player for Boro. They've struggled, in recent times, they've struggled for someone on the right to do what Stuart Downing does on the left. He looks like he's going to do it.
Josh Walker spent part of last season at Aberdeen. He even scored against Bayern Munich in February in the UEFA Cup, and he had a pop tonight, Craig.
He did, but like I say, all Middlesbrough's best play has ended with shots from this sort of distance. Comfortable a little bit, good strike with his left foot, but comfortable for Brown in goal.
Yeah, and the Egyptian international Shockey had an effort as well, Craig.
Yeah, again, it was decent play in the middle of the pitch. The ball finds his way to Shockey, takes a touch out of his feet, and then a good strike. But again, it's not on target, and it's sort of 25 yards out from goal.
John, we said at the start, in terms of this tournament, 14 tournament, they're given an extra point for every goal. Are we going to see any extra points tonight?
Well, there's been opportunities, you know. Obviously, there's been nothing really clear-cut, has there? But I think we might see goals in the second half. But both teams are having the right goal. As we said before the game, you don't know what to expect pre-season friendlies. God knows how many changes that'll be made now, so it's difficult to sort of predict. But, you know, again, I think that both teams, you know, both managers will be pleased. I think they're getting what they want from the players.
Middlesbrough made 10 changes at half-time in their first pre-season friendly against York City. We'll see how many they make in the second half. Celtic expected to make 1 or 2 changes as well. And when we come back, live second half coverage, Middlesbrough against Celtic. Stay with us.
Live and exclusive on Setanta. Kino Sunderland prepare for their Premier League campaign with a pre-season tour. Next up, it's Vitória in Game 2 from Portugal. More great football, Wednesday, 9:10, Setanta Sports 1.
A brand new SPL season kicks into top gear in August as champions Celtic look to win their 4th title in a row. They open their account on Sunday the 10th of August at home to St Mirren when the flag will fly, and then they face a tricky test away to Dundee United the following week. After that they meet rivals Rangers in the first Old Firm fixture of the season. That's on Sunday 31st August, and you can catch all of those games live on Setanta Sports. We're watching Middlesbrough against Celtic in the Algarve tournament this evening. It's 0-0 at half-time, and as we were saying just before the break, Craig Hignett, we expect a few changes in personnel this second half.
Yeah, I think so. Gareth likes to change things around in pre-season. Like you say before, he made 10 changes against York the last game. I'm sure he'll make a few at half-time here.
And we won't be too surprised if Celtic throw in a few players as well, John.
No, I think they will. I think there's 1 or 2 players, Jim, that are looking for a game, you know, and I think it's only what you'd expect, isn't it, anyway, in pre-season. You know, the players need a game. But it seems very, very hot there. And Celtic have had a result, really, because they play in second tonight and they'll play second again on Thursday. And that makes a huge difference to the players, that 2 or 3 hours, you know, in terms of the coolness over there. But, no, you'd expect Gordon to bring a few bit of fresh legs on and sort of give the lads a run. Because I always prefer to play anyway, because you know if you're not going to play, you'll run tomorrow because it's pre-season. So I'm sure the boys are on the bench there thinking, I wouldn't mind getting on in the second half, you know.
John, be honest, you just didn't like running, full stop.
I hated running. I used to have nightmares about it, but it's just one of them things pre-season. You've got to get through it. You've got to get that base of work, if you like. You've got to get that 3 or 4 weeks of graft and the days of not seeing a ball, as they say. The balls are out now after 1 or 2 days, but there's plenty of running you can do with the ball as well.
We said beforehand, Craig, that Middlesbrough have been concentrating on fitness so far. No technical, no tactical, but it's actually looked not too bad, has it?
It's looked okay, and I'm sure they've spoke about it because the way they've set up is unusual for Middlesbrough. And you can hear them shouting on from the sidelines, you know, Steve Agnew, Colin Cooper, you can hear them shouting shape. So they've obviously had a chat about it. Playing 5 in midfield, I'm not sure whether it suits them or not. Maybe they feel as when they go to the big boys or when they play away from home, this is how they want to play. Because in the Premier League, if you don't shut up shop, you know, there's quality there that can hurt you. So maybe Gareth's trying something a little bit different, but I'm sure he'll be pleased with the fitness of the lads.
Absolutely. An interesting little battle going on between Luke Young and Aidan McGeady as well.
Yes, it is. I know Luke Young is a player. I'd played against him, you know, several times when he was at Tottenham and then at Charlton. So he's a very good defender, as Jim Duffy was saying in commentary. You know, he's played for his country. But he wouldn't have faced many tougher tests than tonight. But going back again to the Middlesbrough shape, if you like, Alves, I'm sure when Gareth Southgate was signing Alves or trying to sign him, I'm sure he never mentioned his first pre-season game is going to be one up front, you know. He's desperately looking for a bit of help because it is the roll from hell, if you like.
Yeah.
That unless you're getting loads of help and ball into you, it is a nightmare. But, you know, the lad's plugging away, but I'm sure he'd be like a bit of help in the second half.
Josh Walker hadn't started a game for Middlesbrough up until this pre-season. He's now started both against York City and against Celtic. Had a reasonably successful time on loan to Aberdeen. He's done okay tonight. He
has done okay. Josh is another one. He's had to wait for his chance. They've thought big things of Josh for a while now. Sent him to Aberdeen to get a little bit of experience under his belt. Done reasonably well, and they'll be hoping this year he can push on and you know, repay the faith that they've had in him, because for 2 or 3 years everyone's been talking about Josh Walker, what a good player he is, but he hasn't really taken that next step like Ali Katamol has.
Yeah, Pogatetz looks solid at the back as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, Poggy's a character. He'd hit a brick wall if you told him to. That's just the type of player he is, and he plays every game, whether it's pre-season game or a league game, 100%, or in training, give it that, because, you know, 1 or 2 of the lads have told me, even in training, you don't want to go near Poggy.
Russ Turnbull's been out on loan 6 times from Middlesbrough. He's getting his shot tonight, in goal.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting one for me, because Mark Schwartz has gone to Fulham now, and talking in the summer to 1 or 2 of the coaching staff, they feel that these 2 keepers that they've got are ready, and it's a big year for Brad Jones and Ross Turnbull. And if they are ready, you know, that now's the chance. They're not really young kids, you know, they're 24, 25. So that they've got to make sure that the chance that Gareth gives them now, that it sticks, because you can bet your life, come January, if them 2 haven't done it, he'll go out and buy a goalkeeper.
John, from a Celtic point of view, big things were expected from Scott Brown. He had 1 or 2 personal problems last season, which we won't get into here.
Yes.
But let's hope he's going to have a great year this year.
Well, I think he will. There was glimpses he showed last year that, you know, he's an outstanding talent. He really is. He's got great legs. He's got a little bit of bite about him, which I like. A touch of the Gazas, if you like. You know, he'll put his foot in. Great engine, gets him out the pitch, and Gordon will want a few more goals from him. And he came out of the team towards the end of last season. Now, how that's affected him, and he put Hartley and Robson in, and they were outstanding. So I'm expecting a big year from Brown.
OK, guys, for the moment, thanks very much indeed. The teams are back out. Let's get back to our commentary team, Jim Duffy, and first of all, Jock Brown.
Thanks, Jim. Yes, welcome back to the Algarve Stadium, and the changes have been made. We've seen Jeremy Aliadier, who has come into the Middlesbrough side for the second half. We're just checking around to see how many other changes have been made. Josh Walker is still in his position, the centre of midfield. The referee checking all the formalities here to get the second half underway. Very evenly matched game in that first half. Little to choose between the 2 sides, despite playing their different systems. So fourth official there getting some information to the referee. Paul Hartley is still there. He's just checking around the Celtic team. Not too many changes evident, it would appear, at this stage, Jim.
No,
but certainly one change at least for Middlesbrough. In fact, a couple of other changes too. We'll just run these through very quickly.
Yeah, well, you got Jeremy Algarve, who had a very brief spell at Celtic, on loan, and went back to Arsenal and then eventually to Middlesbrough. And I think it'll be interesting to see if he stays as the lone striker, or whether Gareth Southgate changes his system and maybe goes 4-4-2, more traditional 4-4-2. But we'll see in the first few minutes. It looks as if they're still playing that 4-5-1 shape, 4-3-3 when they have possession.
Anthony McMahon has come into the defence at right back. He's replaced Luke Young in that position for Middlesbrough for the second half. A number of changes in the side. Robert Huth is also in the Boro side in central defence. This is McGeady. New challenge to face. There's also evidence there of Gary O'Neill on the side. Many changes in this Boro side. This is Ariaria trying to test the Celtic defence. Only played twice, I think, for Celtic, did he not? And Media Bratislava, was that the
yeah, unfortunately, I think that he probably picked the worst time to be at Celtic as far as Gordon Strachan is concerned. But since he's gone to Middlesbrough, he's feeling. I think he's at a club. The manager seems to know how to deal with him, how to treat him, and he seems a little bit more lively and a lot more confident than perhaps amongst the superstars of Arsenal.
So Ariaria has replaced Alves up front. O'Neill in the heart of midfield there. Now for Boro for the second half. Andrew Taylor is also in the Boro side, left back position. John Johnson also in a central midfield position. So really all change again for Boro for the second half of the match. So a real opportunity for so many of these players to make an impression on Gareth Southgate.
Well, I think we spoke earlier on about fitness levels and the amount of work that they put in. One player that's missing, we hope would still be on, was Jimenez. I think he's off.
He's gone, yeah.
And that's disappointing from a football spectacle, because he was outstanding in the first half.
Ariaria taken very strongly there by Caldwell. Free kick to Boro, despite the protest of Caldwell.
Yeah, I think it's a poor challenge from Gary. He just plants his foot there, and Algarve just skips past him. It's a definite free kick, goes over his thigh. I think Gary's just got to move his feet a little bit there on his body and just maybe push him away from the goal, but totally committed and an opportunity. I think Julio Arca, I don't think he's still on either, so we've got one or two of the main players off in the second half, and interesting to see who deals with the set piece.
Well, 11 subs named by Boro for the match. One of them not Stuart Downing, unfortunately. That's O'Neill. Wall does well. So Boro intent on retaining the ball as the main priority here. The ball's out of play. So it's going to be throw to Celtic near the corner flag. Samaras losing out there. A strong challenge from Robert Huth. Well, a big signing that for Boro. Huth coming from Chelsea.
I think he cost about £6 million, and I think everyone that saw Robert Huth as a young player thought he had a real bright future in the game. But as I mentioned, the first half, Jock, so many injury problems, hasn't really had a great run of games anywhere, and since he's gone to Middlesbrough, it's been a stop-start career for him. And again, with the rigours of the Premiership, you need all of your players fit for the campaign to allow you to change things if required. And he's been available too few occasions for Middlesbrough.
Interesting to see Celtic making so few changes when Middlesbrough have gone for a new set of players almost.
Yeah, well, I thought that would be the case. I mean, Celtic are getting closer to the start of the season, and you know, Gordon have a game on Thursday. I think you'll see, you know, a significant number of changes on Thursday, you know, to the team. But I think he's looking at game time and shape. We heard John Hartson mention there that Gordon doesn't like to change his shape too much from 4-4-2, so you know, he likes to keep the players on the pitch for as long as possible, and you know, give them that game time, get used to each other again. And I see again, great line there from Middlesbrough. You know, for as much as they've not worked too much in tactics and the technical aspect, they seem very organised at the back and in midfield. And Gareth Southgate, the manager, I think early on, as I said, playing a 4-5-1 when they lose possession, 4-3-3 when they've got possession. But they're making it difficult for Celtic to find any space whatsoever. And you know, so far, things working out very well for Middlesbrough. And Celtic just having to, I think, lacking a little bit, you know, of invention in centre midfield.
Gary O'Neill wearing the captain's armband for Boro for the second half. Adam Johnson getting back there to offer support for Andrew Taylor. Good ball across, and Samaras well policed inside the area there by Robert Huth, who got up very well indeed to a very difficult cross. McGeady again playing it in. Collected here by Johnson. Another player of huge promise on the left hand side of the midfield for Boro for the second half. But the only survivor I can see really is Josh Walker.
Yeah. I think everyone else in it, I would guess he's getting the opportunity, as you mentioned, hadn't really started a first team game, so gives him a chance to impress the manager. It's a different proposition for Aidan McGeady in the second half. Is that great ball in there and great defending from Robert Huth, very, very tight to Georges Samaras. I think he thought he was going to be in there, and then again Robert Huth's showing, you know, I don't care if it's a friendly, I'm going to do my job as a centre back and be very competitive, and that's exactly what Gareth Southgate will be wanting.
Degar also in the heart of that midfield for Boro. Frenchman from Paris Saint-Germain. This is Ali Arier. Support arriving from Walker. It's a good attempt on goal. Well saved by Brown. Good play by Ali Arier.
Yeah, great play from Ali Arier. I mean, I thought that you know, Steve McManus was pushing away from goal. You see him try to push him away, but fantastic strike. Great save by Matt Brown. Pushed it well out the danger area as well. But Ali Arier, as I mentioned, seems to be at a club that suits him just now. Seems to be happy at that club. As you can see there, didn't need a second invitation to strike it goal, and a good save by Matt Brown, and pushing it away for a corner to Middlesbrough.
Getting this opportunity in the absence of Artur Boric.
I thought it was a corner there. For me, I don't know what happened there, but certainly the keeper saved it. Went out and across the line, so unless someone else had strayed it in an offside position, that
I think that was the problem.
Maybe the flag had been up earlier, and after the goalkeeper had pushed it out, maybe someone looked to try and pick up the second ball, in which case has been the second phase and be given offside.
So amazing to find so many outfield players. All these outfield players except Josh Walker changed by Boro. And yet we saw that very good understanding in the back four early on. A new back four. This is McManus stepping away from Walker. And now Wilson for Celtic. No perception again, no. And the flag up against Ali Arier.
Well, you could see when Matt Wilson went forward there, Ali Arier was looking to play into the area that Matt Wilson had vacated, and went a little bit early, but it just shows you he's thinking all the time, and you know, if the timed he's run a little bit better, and there was certainly plenty of space in that left back position that Matt Wilson had left.
That's a good play again by Huth for Boro. Played across the back safely again by McMahon. Mahan again. Very young side on the pitch now for Boro. Very young players indeed. Rhys Williams out there, just very young man too, 20 years old. Huth, the senior citizen really now, 23 almost. Here's Walker. Walker again, trying to find Johnson. It's an awkward one. And the ball had to be attacked there at the edge of the area. It was duly attacked by Caldwell in the end. Robson was under a lot of pressure there from Johnson.
I think Barry Robson really got to go and attack the ball there, but Johnson totally committed again. Well, regardless of pre-season friendly, both players making sure they were firmly on the ball.
We have John Johnson and Adam Johnson on the field for Boro. As Wilson breaks on the left for Celtic. This is Samaras. Trying to pick out Robson on the right. Couldn't find him though. Robson looks quizzically back at his teammate. Questions the quality of the pass, I think, with that look. Algarve City in this tournament, of course, with 3 points for a win and another 2 points for a couple of goals, with 5 points at the moment.
Yeah, well, they've done their job.
It's very healthy.
Play from Gary Neal there, but Gary again not blessed with great pace, and McGeady coming back again, once again. His manager will be delighted with the attitude of Aidan McGeady, not just with the ball, but also when his team doesn't have it, not neglecting his defensive duties at all. Celtic trying to play the way out of trouble here.
Good composed play from Celtic at the back. McGeady in that left back position now. It's unfamiliar territory for him, and a strong tackle delivered by O'Neill. McGeady didn't appreciate that.
Okay, with the captain's armband on for the second half, and he's saying to Aidan McGeady, no, I'm not having you turning and twisting and trying to embarrass me. It was a good challenge. I think he's won the ball fairly there. You can see him, although he's going to ground, he's definitely got his foot wrapped round, but McGeady, just a little flick at him. A bit frustrating, a bit of frustration there, and he's just got to be careful, Aidan. He's going to have to accept that one or two challenges are going to come their way, because it's a compliment to his ability.
Boro playing with the back four now, really. Mahan, Huth, Taylor and Williams. Josh Walker wide in the right. In the centre they have Degar sitting, John Johnson, Gary O'Neill, Adam Johnson and Ali Adier operating alone up front. Celtic system pretty well the same as it was in the first half. McGeady on the left, Robson on the right, Brown and Hart play in the centre. Breaks kindly there for McGeady. This is Robson. The foul from behind gives the free kick here to Celtic. It was Didier Degas, new man from Paris Saint-Germain, who committed the foul. There he is, challenging from behind.
Yeah, just as I think Barrow's room to play it, just got too close to him again. See here, just trips him from behind, just catches his ankle. But this is Barry Robson territory, there's no doubt about that. 30 yards out on his left foot.
Ross Turnbull retained his place in goal for the second half of the match. He'll have some work to do here perhaps from Robson's prowess.
Hartley's another one that can fancy it, but I would think it would be more likely to be Barry Robson for a direct strike at goal here.
There's Robson. It's a good attempt, well saved by Turnbull. Keeper was almost deceived. Responded very well indeed. This is Brown. Back now with McGeady. Well, the Steffel didn't quite come off that time against Josh Walker.
Josh Walker might have seen it once or twice, I think, in that fantastic goal that Celtic scored up at Aberdeen. I think Josh Walker may well have been playing in that game, but this time Aidan McGeady does manage to get himself turned, but not the cross in. But I think you're right. I think Steele saw this, I think, very, very late. Seemed to be going one way, then the other, but give the goalkeeper credit. Managed to get a strong wrist behind the ball and just push it away at the danger area. Ended up a good save there.
Quality save, all right. Well taken by Robson.
You could hear Josh Walker screaming for the ball there, and McMahon decided he was going to head it, and Walker was screaming well before the defender decided to head it there, and Celtic now making a couple of substitutions.
Changes being made here. Mark Wilson, I think, is going to go off. Gary Caldwell. Darren O'Dea is coming on. Let's check on these. Bobo Balde also coming on. Well, he gets a special cheer from the Celtic supporters in the stadium.
Yeah, well, Balde will go to centre back in the day. I think we'll go to left back, although he prefers to play centre back. Bobo Balde, uncompromising figure. And, I think that he's a player that I think Celtic have said they'll allow him to leave. And one or two clubs in Championship and Premiership, I think, have been asking about him. He's a 6'3", he's quick, strong, not the best on the ball, but a very, very dominant central defender. And probably do well down south at a certain level.
Lee Naylor also on at left back. Nowhere for Hinkle to go there. Or Robson rather, going towards the byline.
Yeah, well, Barry Robson again prefers the ball. Normally drops his shoulder, comes back into his left foot and likes to whip it in. Ready to go towards the goal line there, but overran the play.
Well, the substitutions being announced. Let's just do a little recap on these. We check around the pitch to see. O'Dea has gone in there beside Balde. It's Robert Huth playing it back there for Boro. Good challenge there by Naylor. Well, the idea now is new opponents to contend with, Bobo Balde and Darren O'Dea.
Well, we thought that Celtic would delay substitutions a little bit longer. It was on the hour mark, so probably by the stopwatch. Actually, as I mentioned, the sports scientists, fitness coaches nowadays very meticulous, and when they want to make substitutions, how much a player has to play, before the campaign gets really underway. And Darren O'Dea getting an opportunity alongside Bobo Balde in the central defence. Lee Naylor. I think a lot of people were looking for him to be a lot more consistent this year for Celtic. Had a bit of an inconsistent season, but still managed to finish up with another championship medal.
Absolutely.
And the defence, I think, only lost 26 goals in the campaign, so as much as he got criticised, still was an integral part of that back four.
38 matches, not bad. Forward again, come Boro. That's a wasted pass forward though. Possession yielded much too easily. Ali Adia looks frustrated there. They've made a very good run in the inside left channel. Robson playing it forward. And a good enough challenge made there by Taylor in the end on MacDonald.
I think he just got there, Taylor, didn't he? And that was the first time that Scotland all managed to play in between Williams and Taylor there, and it was a great ball from Darren O'Dea to find him, but Taylor just managed to get an outstretched leg out to deny Scott McDonald an opportunity to run in and goal.
Bit of a wrestling match there, but Boro have possession again with a chance to come forward. Played in there by Johnson, too close to keeper. Easily taken out there by Mark Brown and goal.
I think could have been a little bit more positive there, maybe just knocked it past Bobo Balde and tried to commit the defender just to see what he had in the locker. He was just on the pitch, and Balde uses his experience and didn't allow the youngster to open up his legs and go for the byline.
It's so little play, Bobo Balde, in the Gordon Strachan era. To be a fixture for Martin O'Neill for so long. This is MacDonald, chased by Williams. Commanding header out by Hood. That's O'Neill. Good touch on the ball away from Brown. Excellent play there by Gary O'Neill. This is Walker. It's switch of the play by McMahon, but that goes astray, and that's a very badly yielded bit of possession for Boro.
I think it was just in between. He wasn't sure whether to hit it wide left or go for the left back, and caught it right in between both of them, and unfortunately McMahon went out for a throw in.
Now McGeady taking on his new opponent, McMahon. This is Samaras. Robson turning it back. The cross goes beyond Samaras. A little change out of the new central defensive partnership for Boro. A couple of heading opportunities in the first half, Samaras, but hasn't been able to get any joy in the second half. Hood and Taylor doing so well in that area now. That's Johnson. Mark Wilson switched over to right back. Hinkle replaced. So effectively a new back four also for Celtic. Wilson surviving but changing position. And it's Balde, O'D and Naylor.
You know, again, I think that Matt Wilson probably needs the games. You know, he didn't have too many games last season due to injury problems, and you know, I think he'll just be delighted to get on the pitch, and I don't think he'll be asking to come off. I mean, he feel a little bit tired towards the end, but interesting to see if he does last the 90 minutes.
Maybe going route one there, but that's not going to trouble these Boro defenders, I would suspect. Rhys Williams going in to win that. More changes made by Celtic.
And we just mentioned Matt Wilson there with Paul Caddis coming on. You'd be surprised if it's not Matt Wilson that comes off.
Scott McDonald goes off. And then a lot of Hesselink comes on. Barry Robson is going off.
And Donati will come on for him, I think.
There's Donati into midfield. Paul Caddis also. All changed now for Celtic. Not much more Boro can do with their team. They made all those changes, 9 in all at half time.
Just interesting to see how Celtic shape up after the substitutions. Middlesbrough has been retained the 4-5-1 formation with Ali Adier now the lone striker, but both Donati and Paul Hartley like to sit really and orchestrate the play.
This is Hartley, who's still on the pitch, one of the older players on the Celtic side at 31. Kept in there by Naylor. I think a big difference really in terms of attacking play for Boro is the fact that they don't have Emnes wide on the right, who was really electric in the first half, and they've got a genuine central midfield player in Josh Walker in that position now. So it changes the whole shape of the team.
Yeah, I mean, there's just haven't really got the support up to Ali Adier and Jimenez in the first half. You know, was a real threat all the time. But you're right, Josh Walker I think's done okay. I think he's impressed the manager. I don't think he's done anything wrong at all, and there's a couple of shots at goal, and he's 1 or 2 there were little passes as well. So I don't think there's been a problem from Josh Walker's point of view. He's shown his manager that he's a decent young player.
Young Caddis there taking a sole one in that challenge from John Johnson. Oh, he's pretty late and reckless, Johnson. Caddis though has made a full recovery. He's all right.
Just wondering if Scott Browns perhaps went wide right now for Barry Robson and allowed Donati and Hartley to dominate those two central midfield role positions.
They'll look good on the end of that for Celtic. So 20 minutes or so remaining. A game still there to be won by either side. Not a great deal to choose between them at this stage. Well, some competitive action coming up on Setanta Intertoto Cup. That's Aston Villa against Odense BK on that Saturday, 4:45 on Setanta Sports 1. A long way through, hopefully, for Villa to the UEFA Cup.
And they're a side more than capable of winning that UEFA Cup, aren't they, Aston Villa? You know, with some terrific players there, some great pace in the side with Angbong Lahore and, you know, the likes of that, superb young players there that Martin O'Neill has on that side, and I think they might fancy themselves. Got to get through the Intertoto, but might fancy themselves to get there.
Very early start to be competitive too for them. Caris playing it back. It's Baldy. Now Wilson. Very prominent figure with the blonde hair there. Donati. Central midfield for Celtic. Degar playing it short. Takes it back from Walker. Good possession play here by Boro, but that's given away there for Donati. Now Samaras. Well tackled though by Williams. Shot pull there by Samaras. Referee allows the advantage with Boro still in possession. Now Walker. Through the gap there looking for Adam Johnson. Oh. With a pass back with short. Oh, there's a goal. Boro scored. Jamie Aliadiar takes the credit. Mark Brown driving the ball against the Boro striker. And Boro had the lead.
Well, it was good play from the referee. Started off because there was a definite tug in Gary Neal's jersey in the build-up play, but he allowed play to go on. Gary Neal threaded through there. Eventually it went to Josh Walker. Tried a little reverse pass there, just flicked it over the Celtic defender. See here, just a little flick. A little slip there from Johnson. But a short back pass there by Darla D. Jeremy Aliadiar taking the gamble, as all good strikers should do, and little ricochet into the bottom corner, so he'll be delighted getting off the mark. But it's a short pass back, didn't do his goalkeeper any favours whatsoever. I don't think you can blame too much blame on Mark Brown there. Perhaps maybe could have side-footed the other direction, but I think it's down to a short pass back by Darla D. And Middlesbrough 1-0 up, and I don't think that you could say it's undeserved, because I think that they've been, you know, with the amount of substitutions they've had and how far they are behind Celtic in terms of preparation time, I think they've acquitted themselves very, very well, Middlesbrough.
Well, Aliadiar getting the goal for Boro. He scored 5 times in 31 matches before this game. So a very welcome start. It was a rash pass back by Odi, put Brown under severe pressure, but Aliadiar deserves great credit. He was very sharp and lively and brave.
Well, it was a little casual from Darnady. He just tried to take the pace off it, but you know, he's got to make sure it gets there with enough pace that the striker can't close the space down. But Aliadiar showed that again he was very alert and gets the benefit of the ricochet of the goalkeeper.
No cross. So Celtic now trying to respond. That's well worked into space there. Pass back to Wilson was a difficult one, with pressure being applied. Boro have done well to force Celtic back like this. Here's Bobo Balde. Well, he certainly has 2 major targets up front to aim for with that kind of pass. McGowan has now come on also for Celtic.
Paul McGowan, I think it was the young lad that was at Morton for a while on loan. And, I think it was in the 2nd division at that time before they get promotion to the 1st division in Scotland. But again, Gordon Strachan just using his squad now. I think it's Samaras having a little breather as well. But I think the happier manager of the two will be Gareth Southgate so far, and Gordon Strachan I'm sure will be, like all managers, interested in the fitness levels, the work rate of his players, the organisation. But also, like managers, you'll be looking at the, you know, what's got to be worked on, what's got to be improved upon. And I think Celtic's crispness of passing and you know, tightening up the game from middle to third, I think he's still got a way to go.
Well, young Paul McGowan, just 20 years old. Nice chance here, fouled by Rhys Williams from behind. Looks towards the referee and gets the decision he wanted. Yeah, I think Gareth Southgate's entitled to consider a number of pretty decent performances from a lot of players there. He said now, 20 players on the pitch, and a fair percentage have performed well.
Well, I think that when you've got a very good youth system, that's the first thing Middlesbrough have always had. I mean, one of the very early benefits of the academy system at Middlesbrough. I think a lot of people, including Rangers, looked at the Middlesbrough set up to look to develop their own. And I think that they've brought players through, so they've obviously got a good grounding. They've been involved in the system, so when they go into the first team jock, they know exactly what's required of them in terms of shape, in terms of organisation, what the manager, the coaches are asking for. And I think that's vital when you move young players into the first team. That they're not too much time for second guessing at that level. And I think Middlesbrough have shown that their academy structure is promoting some good players with good game awareness.
Well, if you remember too that other players to the ranks like Stuart Downing and Lee Cattermole are not featuring tonight. I haven't seen Tunsai yet, nor Mido. It's a very strong squad.
Yeah, a strong squad, and I think that they'll probably still have to strengthen it further. The likes of Middlesbrough looking to first and foremost play a continued role in the Premiership, and then look to step it forward a little bit at a time. And I think that they'll be looking to see whether they can get into that top 10. Top 10 I think will be an achievement in itself for Middlesbrough. And then if they're steady there and do that for a couple of seasons, then they can perhaps take a little bit of risk financially and see if they can get towards Europe. But I think what they are showing, as I said, that they've got good strength and depth, and as I said, for me, a good academy structure, good development, and Josh Walker, I think, has done himself no harm whatsoever. I think he's had a terrific performance today.
Tuncay comes on, the Turkish international. So it's all changed among the outfield players. Thank you with Odi. He'll still be smarting about that error which gave the opening goal to Ali Arier.
Gordon Strachan will realise that these are the type of games to iron out those elementary errors, and he'll be giving advice to Dan Nadi just to make sure that he doesn't repeat it in a competitive match.
A strong play there by Deegaard to halt McGeady. This is Adam Johnson. Good footwork by Johnson. Space opening up ahead of him now, trying to play in the pass, and Balde's in trouble. This is Ali Arier. Johnson took his eye off that, a little lapse in concentration. Headed away by Odi.
Better position from Danley that time, just looking at Celtic, with Paul Caddis now, and we mentioned that Matt Wilson has played a few positions. He's now playing wide right in a 4 with Caddis at right back. So plenty of changes from both managers. But, the team, it seems to be a little bit more coordinated at this moment in time, with about 13 minutes to go, 13 minutes to go, is Middlesbrough.
Coming forward again, Adam Johnson making a very good impression. England 21 international, of course, Johnson, and he's played 59 times for the Boro first team, just 21 years old. O'Neill playing it inside. Tuncay away from Donati. Here's O'Neill again. Good movement off of the head there by McMahon. That's a good touch on the ball by the young defender. Good play by John Johnson. O'Neill again. That's very good ball retention by Boro in these tight situations. Have it back again. Well, looking for the second goal, which surely be the killer goal, I think.
I think it's been excellent play there from Middlesbrough. There were no rush to play just a hopeful ball into the box. You know that Bobo Balde, Dan Nadi there have got the muscle just to deal with a floated cross. So they tried to keep possession of the ball and just trying to open up the Celtic defence. And Mann and I think Gary Neal, Johnson all playing a key role in that patient build-up play. And they just look to be certainly, getting more confident in the game. Celtic a little bit frustrated there, and you can see that by that challenge from Aidan McGeady, who's really not had too many opportunities at all in the second half to run at McMahon after a blistering performance in the first half.
It's amazing how they've adjusted Boro to cope with that. Part of the problem, of course, has been that there's been no supply to McGeady. He's been well closed off by the Boro defence. Here's Johnson. Good natural left side Johnson, but running into trouble there. That's a very good turn by young McGowan.
Deegaard done well again. Yeah, I think he's shown that he knows how to play that role. Craig Hignett was saying he plays in that defensive midfield role, but he's got pace, awareness, senses the danger, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to sense the danger when you're playing in that role. There's no point trying to deal with it after it's happened. You've got to get there just a split second before. Paul Hartley does a similar job for Celtic, but Deegaard showing that he's got that awareness, early awareness to deal with the danger. Young Paul McGowan, a bit unfortunate. Good turn the first half in the first instance, but just didn't have maybe the upper body strength to hold those big defenders off.
The only survivor for Boro throughout the match, the goalkeeper, Ross Turnbull. This is Tony McMahon. He was the captain of the Boro FA Youth Cup winning team in 2004.
Well, as I mentioned earlier on, I mean that's again a mark of the development side of the football club. They're not a club who can go out and spend tens of millions on players. Of course, they've got to invest to be part of the Premiership, but they have to promote their own young players. They have to keep developing their young players, and then add them into the first team squad. And if they're winning the FA Youth Cup, they're in, they're playing against some illustrious company there. So again, it shows that that side of the club is developing very, very well.
Unlucky player though, with dislocated shoulder, knee ligament damage, 2 broken legs and a torn hamstring since then. And just 22 years old, so his career has been seriously hampered, McMahon, by injury. The only appearance last season, the first team was a sub in that 8-1 win over Man City at the end of the season. Good defending again by Huth. Donati closed down well again by Deegaard. Deegaard again, getting his head to the ball. Good work again by McGeady, and a little flick away there from the challenger Vinegar Hesselink. Good defending again from the cross ball for Boro.
It was great
Superb play. Problem still remains for the Celtic defence here, as Eliarier, who was involved in that wonderful first time layoff, tries the cross which Balde wins.
A couple of great moments of skill there within about 30 seconds there. You had McGeady one side and then Ali Adair on the other side. Both showing great quick footwork, getting away from defenders. And again, something that the European public always like to see: close control in tight situations, outwitting the big aggressive defenders.
I wonder if Ali Adair really could blossom fully as a Boro striker. He was a youngster at Arsenal, looked to be full of promise, French under-21 international.
Yeah, I just think he perhaps at times was a little bit overwhelmed at Arsenal. There was obviously people like Kanu and Thierry Henry, Robert Pires, guys like that, I think, who he perhaps felt he maybe wasn't in the same bracket as them. And really, I think that sometimes you've got to be confident enough to go and play in that type of company. You've got to have a sense of arrogance to go and play. But going to Middlesbrough, maybe not the same stars around about you, and you maybe feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe feel as if you're every bit as good, if not better, than some of the other players around, and that just gives you the confidence to go and promote yourself as a first team player. And I think that's what he's done at Middlesbrough. Still a bit to go yet, and I think the Middlesbrough fans are still looking for more from him, particularly in terms of goal scoring. But as part of a first team squad, I think he's shown that he can certainly more than do a job in the Premiership.
Here's Tunkai. Balde falling off to command at the back in the air. This is McGeady running into blind alley there, surely, but he's fouled. And Neil's infringement.
I have to say, I really do like Gary Neal as a player. Jock, it's a little bit similar to Arca, who Arca were you know, not always running around at 100 miles an hour, but just seems to pick the right pass so often. There's great knowledge and awareness of what's round about him, when to take a pass, when to lift his head, when to try the difficult pass, when to keep it simple. And he's a player I worked with as a young player when I was at Portsmouth, and he was terrific then, and he's been on to, you know, captain England under 21s, and now it's at Middlesbrough, and I just really enjoy watching him play. Just a lovely balanced footballer.
It's a good spell again for Boro. Just too far away from Algarve. Has to be turned behind though by Naylor. Algarve and Naylor, of course, know each other. Algarve was on loan at Wolves when Naylor was there.
Yeah, I mean, Lee Naylor tucking in from his left back berth there into the right area, just nodding it away for a corner. But again, good patient build-up play from Middlesbrough.
Booth up there with the challenge, breaks back for Tunkai. Needs support from behind. Interception again by Balde.
I think you can just see the Celtic backline there just been a little bit disorganised. Bobo Balde was stretching for it, managed to clear it, but Daniel Day was at 4 or 5 yards deeper than him and really should have been up alongside him to try and make sure they squeezed the game. But it's a little bit of work to do in terms of that organisation for Celtic, you know, particularly with McMahon and Caldwell.